Today I'm going to talk about a couple of Heritage Arms Rough Riders. I've got the model, I don't know if you guys can see this, RR22B6, which is a 6.5-inch barrel that come originally with Coco Bolo exotic hardwood grips, and it has the long rifle cylinder. It's not the 22 mag, and I didn't get it with the 22 mag cylinder. Also, I've got this one. It is the model RR22B4, which is a 4 3/4 barrel, and it's the Coco Bolo exotic hardwoods grips, and it's the 22 long rifle cylinder only. I didn't get these with the mag cylinder, and I'll do an update video because I'm not sure if this guy will shoot a mag cylinder, but I know this one will, and actually come with a coupon to order one from the factory. Alright, so let's open them up. And as you can see on both of these, if I can get the boxes to stay open here, guys. The only thing I've done to these, I don't believe in filing parts. They do have quite a trigger pull to them, and some folks prefer to file the trigger for less trigger pull, but I'm not going to do that to these. They were both bought brand new, but as you can notice on both, I have sanded down and painted these grips. On a handgun, I'm not a big fan of wood grips for the sole fact that I will scratch them and then they look like crap. So I painted these, and I got my daughter's mother to Google on a good way to cure the paint, but since I was unsure on the oven temp, I simply painted these with 4 good coats, with letting them dry 30 minutes apiece, and then dry for 2 hours. Set them in front of an electric heater on high for an hour. Then I let them set up for 2 days, and they turned out quite nice. But this is the 4 3/4. You have to bear with me, guys. I'm holding the phone and the thing, but these are styled after the Wild West Colt, long Colt cartridges that they used in these styles. I think these have been downsized a little bit from the actual size, even though Heritage does carry the long Colt model as well as the 357 and 38 model. Now I'll do an update video because I've not had time to fully do research, but they have the 4-click design, and they also have implemented this safety design right here. On both of these firearms, you have a crossbolt safety to keep from the firing pin going. But they also have that standardized, and by the way, guys, I have safety checked these. It'd be hard to show you one-handed, but they are empty. Okay. On the 4-click design, we're going to leave the safety up. I'm going to put tension on the trigger, let it all the way down. Okay. The original safety design was 1 click, and that was your safety. But without the new crossbolt design that Heritage has put, if you loaded the whole cylinder, then dropped it, well, or bumped it, it could go off and shoot you in the leg, the foot, or wherever you're carrying it. Then it also has a 2nd click, which is where you will be able to rotate your cylinder and load it. And then according to the manual, it has a 3rd click. You hear that? Okay. It says that one is just really serves no purpose. Then the 4th click, which you just heard, that is when it's ready to fire. And you always, when you load it, turn your cylinder, make sure it did lock in place. Me filming one-handed would be hard to show you how to take the cylinder out, but there's a ton of guys out there that have reviewed this gun, and that was my whole purpose in these guns. The 4 3/4 barrel my wife got me as a present. My go-to guy at the pawn shop, he had marked these down to basically get them moved out because he had some big lot of handguns coming in. But that's the 4 3/4. Now I'll show you the 6-inch, or excuse me, 6.5. Okay, the 6.5. I liked it because it's not balanced as well as a 4 3/4 because of that longer barrel there, but it just, I don't know, I seem to be able to hit targets better with it. And yes, they do have kind of a crude sight. They do offer a model that has adjustable sights and high visibility sights, and the hammer function is the same. It's in the old style safety position, then the load position, third click, which serves no purpose, and then fourth to fire. Also, this one has the crossbolt safety, loading gate, as you can see, and it's empty. The only plastic part I've found on these guns is where you mash this piece here to eject the shell. I watched a video on a disassembly. I did disassemble one of these just to see if I could do it and successfully put it back together with ease. And if you pay attention to what you're doing, you're careful not to over torque your screws. These guns overall pretty much could be serviced by about anyone. They're both in 22 long rifle. Now the 6.5-inch barrel, I'm unsure. I could be wrong. I don't know if it shoots the 22 mag, even though in the box it has a hole for a cylinder. But I do know this one will shoot 22 mag, the 4 3/4. And I plan on getting a cylinder for it with the coupon that come with it when I got it new. This 6.5, I don't have a dime in. I had refurbished a gun, and then I traded that gun for this, which come with a very, very excellent gun lock. Goes on the trigger, locks it. There is no way that gun could be fired. And if you've got kids in your home, such as I do, that's a good thing to have. I love 22 long rifle because it's cheap ammo. Not as cheap as when I was a kid, but you know, it's still cheaper than a lot of other calibers. 22 mags, not as cheap, but I'm just planning on getting one for that one. As far as self-defense, I have the 6-shot models. They make a 9-shot, but according to the manual, you cannot interchange a 9-shot cylinder into a 6-shot revolver. Another thing about these gun locks here is this key. I don't know if they're all the same, but I got both mine from the same guy. These are good for security purposes as far as children, but for anti-theft, if someone else owns one of these guns and has this same gun lock, this key will fit both gun locks. So as far as an anti-theft purpose, if someone has one of these keys, they can unlock either gun lock and have full control. And also remember, if you do plan on using this for self-defense, that a gun with a trigger lock on it will get you killed because you will not have enough time to unlock your gun and use it. I'm overall very satisfied with these guns. They seem to be very well built. Taurus, Ruger, Smith & Wesson all make 22 long rifles as well and mags. And they're excellent guns, but they're very high priced. Both these guns put together, I don't have in them what most people on YouTube have claimed to have in one gun. Now about the ammo, I'm a personal favorite of CCI. I mean, we all have our own preferences, but this is CCI Mini Mag 22 long rifle, and this is for target plinking, and it is 40 grain, and it's copper plated, and it has brass shell casings. Now, if I'm carrying this gun just around the house or the yard for self-defense against an animal or such, or a snake, I will shoot stingers in it. I've had no issue with that, other than where I live, stingers could be hard to find. other 22 long rifle I have no trouble finding. Walmart's a joke, but actually, believe it or not, I got these Stingers around Christmas time.